सुन रहे हैं आप रेडियो आजाद and this is where your voice matters. You're listening to Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha, and today we're talking about the art of talking. This is part 2, and you will be able to watch this on YouTube very shortly, so we're very excited about that. All right, Janab, so up till now we have talked about the 7 deadly sins. Now we're talking about the 7 bad habits of talking, and now we're going to talk about the 4 fundamentals of how to talk.
बिल्कुल.
How to talk so you can be heard. Studio phone number is 9725019390 if you have something to share, if you have observed something about how people are talking to each other these days. Where has all the politeness gone? Seriously.
है ना?
Out
बिल्कुल.
the window.
और आज आई फील इतने शिद्दत से सुन रहे हैं, तो लास्ट टाइम का जो एक्टिव लिसनिंग का शो था वो बहुत इफेक्टिव रहा है मेरे ख्याल से.
Yes.
So please, we'd love to hear from you too. So please do call it. Jumping into the 4 fundamentals next, the 4 really powerful cornerstones of talking effectively. And ये जो मैंने जूलियन ट्रेजर साहब की जो बात की थी उनके हिसाब से, it spells out a word which is called hail.
Hail.
Yeah, not the hail that falls from the sky, but the hail which stands for H, honesty. आपको honest रहना है. You want to be honest in your words, in your speech, because fakeness will only take you a certain distance. After that, you can tell through. So be true in what you say. Be straight and clear.
Okay.
The A stands for authenticity. So important to be yourself, because अगर आप किसी की copy करने जाएंगे, किसी को ape करने जाएंगे, so yeah, you may be able to pull it off for a bit, but after that, and we all learn from other people, so I'm not saying therefore don't model good behavior, but at the same time it needs to be, filtered into with you, with your authentic self. And then I stands for integrity. You need to be your word.
That's my next topic.
Actually do what you say. Practice what you preach. And that's how you become somebody will trust. If you are always, just blah, 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 who the hell is going to actually trust your word and want to...
She didn't actually say that.
And that too with that tone of voice, it came out really deadly, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Anyway, and the last one, very important, because it kind of ties up the H, A, and I, is L. And L stands for?
Love.
Very true. 10 on 10.
Very good.
Obviously, by this love, I mean wishing people well. Because अगर आप बहुत ही honest हो जाएंगे, तो वो भी एक तरह से इतना कामयाब नहीं रहेगा. But if you kind of temper it with your love, then the honesty will sound right. For example, if somebody has really done a bad presentation in office, or has probably failed at something they've tried, if you really be bluntly honest, it's not going to sound great. Like, hey, you did an awful presentation this morning. But if you temper that honesty with love and say that, you did your best, and I can really show you how you can even get better next time, I think that you're being honest, but you're treating it with love, and then that goes a long way in the art of effective conversations.
Okay, so now I want to ask you this very important question. Should you tell people the truth? Like, let's take this example, feedback. ठीक है? A lot of people don't want to hear good feedback. They just want to hear a pat on the back.
जी.
Right? And what I've noticed is जब आप लोगों को feedback देते हैं, especially when it's unsolicited, they don't take it very well. And then your relationship with them suffers. So I keep my mouth shut now.
I would encourage...
Which is a hard thing to do.
I can imagine. But I would say that you need to choose the situation where you need to, kind of voice your opinion. And it's fine to kind of keep silent. पहले तो एक पुराने ज़माने से हमें बताया गया है कि give your opinion when it's asked. So if you're always volunteering how you feel and your opinion and your feedback, again, people are going to zone out. But if you really give your feedback to those who really look for it or ask for it, and then if it's given in the right way, I feel that it's very effective, and at least you're true to yourself. So if you are asking that, should I be honest? I would say, yes, please go ahead and be honest. Just choose how and to who, and whether they're really looking at you for that kind of feedback. And वो feedback में तो हम सभी ने सुना होगा वो जो एक sandwich approach of feedback है.
The good first.
Yeah, the good first, then the area of improvement, and then followed by another positive closing. So, for example, I would just kind of try and give you a example that comes on the top of my head. I would tell my husband that, hey, I really appreciate that, you're really looking after me so well these days when I'm not well, and you even made soup for me last night and it was really delicious, but I would really appreciate it during this time if you could just clean up the kitchen too after you're done, because then eventually if I have to just come back and do it, it's just too tiring for me, but I just appreciate your support and thank you so much for being there.
That's too much work.
Yeah, but that's the way it kind of gets registered. Maybe you want to, cut down on the sentences, say the good thing, but the good thing needs to come with an example. See, what people forget to do sometimes, they say, hey, you're great, and then they dive straight into the area of improvement. Hey, you're great से क्या होता है? You're really nice, but then that doesn't help. You're really great. What I really appreciate is you did XYZ. I would really love it if you could do ABC, but I love you, or you're the best, or great work, or whatever.
All right, let's see what our caller has to say. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
आयशा, ये जो आपने अभी बात की ना कि लोग जो हैं दैट्स व्हाई आई ट्राई टू अवॉइड कि आप क्रिटिसाइज, लेकिन मैं ये कहूंगी इस पे कि जिस वक्त लोगों के साथ कोई गलत चीज हो जाती है, यानी प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छी नहीं गई या कोई और डिफीट हो जाती है किसी किस्म की, तो उस वक्त हम ना करें, बिकॉज इट इज टेंडर टू टच एट दैट मोमेंट.
Yes.
तो उसको गिव अ टाइम एंड देन ब्रिंग ऑल द पॉइंट्स ऑन द टेबल कि उसमें आप अच्छा भी बताएं, उसकी भलाई के लिए भी बताएं, सो पीपल देन आर रेडी फॉर आफ्टर अ लिटिल वाइल. मैंने ये देखा है. इवन मेरे हस्बैंड को जो गुस्सा भी आता है तो मैं उस वक्त कोशिश करती हूँ चुप रहूं, बाद में पॉइंट्स ले आऊं. आई वांटेड
जी.
तो उस वक्त ये होता है कि हम थोड़ा सा हाई इमोशंस में होते हैं, सो वी आर नॉट रेडी टू लिसन.
बिल्कुल से.
तो ये पॉइंट. और दूसरा मैं ये कहूंगी कि मैं सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक से लेके सॉफ्ट लोगों को पसंद करती हूँ ऑलवेज. कि मैंने लाउड लोग जो होते हैं बहुत ज्यादा एक टोन डिफरेंट के साथ लाउडली बोलते हैं, आई ट्राई टू अवॉइड एंड नॉट लिसन टू देम. मतलब मेरा कान जो होते हैं थोड़ी देर के बाद शट हो जाते हैं. तो व्हाई इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू हैव सॉफ्ट टोन एंड सॉफ्ट स्पीकिंग जो भी है आपका स्किल या आर्ट है. व्हाई इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, क्यों धीमे और सॉफ्ट लोग क्यों हम ज्यादा सुनते हैं?
बस वो उसी के बारे में हम बात करने वाले हैं नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट में.
Thank you.
Loudness क्या करती है ब्रेन को?
जी,
बिल्कुल.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
it's so true what she said, because it's exactly what we talked about a little while ago when we said, strike when the iron is cold. So in such kind of situations, then maybe you want to wait out and then see. I'd still therefore, add on the fact that you need to choose the people who you want to definitely give feedback to, because they need to be reciprocative to receiving that feedback, or you need to be in a relationship which kind of gives you that position where you need to give feedback.
All right.
So yeah.
Do you want to go into that, or should we play a little bit of a song?
We could start it off maybe, and then we can go into a bit of a song. So the next one that we're talking about is understanding the power of your voice. Because ये जो हमारा एक टूल बॉक्स है, वो टूल बॉक्स को हम कितना इफेक्टिवली यूज करते हैं. I mean, we just say हाँ ये मेरी आवाज़ है and that's it. उसको इफेक्टिवली यूज़ करना ना, हमने सीखा है, या अवेयरनेस भी कभी कभी नहीं होती है कि ये मैं अपने आवाज़ के साथ कर सकती हूँ. सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू in as limited time as we have kind of go through what you have, realize, become aware of this amazing gift of a toolbox that you have, which is your voice. The first is the register. Register जो होती है वो एक आपकी vocal register होती है. It's the range of tones in the human voice which is produced by जो vibratory pattern होती है आपके vocal folds में. Without going to too much of theory, just to give you an example, एक तो होता है कि I can talk through my nose from here and this is the way I will sound, and then if I take it lower to my throat, this is the way I talk and this is the way I talk normally. But if I go really low, I can even talk like this the whole show.
Oh my.
So now what happens with this is जितना आप नीचे से बात करने जाएंगे, the more you go into your chest to talk, the deeper and the grainier you will sound. Now, it has been observed through human research that people prefer voices with lower, deeper sounds. Now, it's true because if you kind of think back, you may associate depth with power and authority. That's why a lot of people, all the politicians that we vote for, have very deep, grainy voices.
Really?
Yeah. Now, therefore, am I trying to say that har kisi ko abhi aise baat karni chahiye? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is learn that you can play with your vocals. So when you are in an important conversation, you are communicating where it matters, not somewhere where you're hanging out on the sofa with your kids and just being yourself, but somewhere where you really want to have an impact, then modulate your voice and choose certain sentences where you really want to go into your chest and speak from there so that it has more impact.
Absolutely. Very important point, and a lot of people do not pay attention to this. I always, when I'm mentoring people about giving speeches, this is what I tell them. And I say, okay, this is your voice. Now lower your voice when you start your speech, and you'll see how much more control you have.
बिल्कुल.
Good.
तो आगे बहुत सारा इंटरेस्टिंग है. फिर दूसरी बात जो है वॉइस के बारे में, वो होती है टेम्बर. It's the way your voice feels. Now again, research shows that we prefer voices which are rich, smooth, warm, like hot chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Well, if that's not you, then that's not the end of the world, because आप अपनी voice को train कर सकते हैं. You can kind of practice some of the exercises we're going to do later today, or you can go to a professional voice coach, and you can, even if you don't want to do any of this, you can just do amazing things with posture. You know, मैं अभी फ़िलहाल अच्छे से बैठी हूँ, upright, back straight, I'm not really resting on the chair. But अगर मैं rest करके बैठूँ, जो मैं अब कर रही हूँ, तो अब मैं ऐसे बात कर रही हूँ, आपको एक अलग क्वालिटी आ जाएगी, और अभी आपको एक अलग क्वालिटी आ जाएगी, बिकॉज योर posture makes such a lot of difference to the way your voice sounds. So, you know, breathing से भी, अगर आप बहुत फास्ट बात कर रहे हैं, आप breath ही नहीं ले रहे हैं बीच में, तो आपकी voice tonality, timbre को affect करेगा. You need to pause, you need to probably breathe in between while you're talking, and that will have the correct timbre to your voice as well. Then the third thing is called prosody. Now, the prosody is what we call the sing-song, जो एक आवाज़ आती है ना, आप जो meta language डालते हैं.
How do you spell that?
It's Prosody, but it's pronounced as Prasohdy, prosody.
Okay.
Now, this is the sing-song, the meta language we use in order to impart meaning to our text or whatever we are conversing. It's people who, you know, probably speak in one note all the time are the ones who then do not have people listening to them, because I can keep going on and on talking like this, and I can give you a lot of tips on how to talk really effectively, and one of them was register, and then there was timbre, and now I'm talking of prosody, and then I will go on to talk about the next one. You will lose interest.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if I kind of go into, you know, हर किसी के मैंने स्पीचेस में या कॉन्वर्जेशंस में सुना है कि हर चीज़ एक क्वेश्चन मार्क हो जाता है, तो आप बात भी कर रहे हैं, तो इट्स लाइक, यू नो, it's repetitive prosodies now coming in, where every sentence ends as if, is it a question? Are we going to the next segment? Are we going to be talking about this next? So that ये जो एक sing song, question mark का sing song हो या किसी और तरह का sing song हो, you need to avoid that, and you need to give that kind of a tune, for the lack of a better word, I'll call it tune, which varies, which is not monotone, which is not the same throughout. And that's where monotonous is born, because you're talking in a monotone, and then your speech or your conversation or your talk becomes monotonous.
Okay.
And then you have your pace. So
If you're talking too fast.
yeah, so I can really talk really fast and give you all the points really fast, and today I have a really bad cold, so I may not be able to do it really well, but I'm still trying. Or I can slow down, I can make every point matter, so that you really stop and listen.
And you know what, Shanasi, this goes back to your point of how people manipulate conversations. And if you're talking very fast, you don't want the person to understand. So it's definitely one of those techniques to throw people off balance.
बिल्कुल. और आप अपनी कहने में इतने so busy in kind of putting your point across that you're really not bothered if anybody's listening. And that gets us back to the crux of the topic, is that are you really talking so people listen, or are you just talking because, hey, you want to talk? So that's really important to make sure that the pace is fine. And then, of course, is our old friend silence.
Aha.
Now, there's nothing really wrong with a real pause. I mean, it's not awkward. Right now, we paused for a good 3 to 4 seconds, but it's fine. So you don't need to fill up every conversation with something. Yeah, no.
And in fact, that gets very annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a distraction if you're doing it too often. So make sure that all of these things are taken into account. And then, of course, there's pitch. And pitch often goes along with pace to indicate, the excitement or the arousal. But you can do it just with pitch too. So I can probably say, where did you leave my phone? Or I can say, where did you leave my phone?
I didn't touch it.
So ये दो pitch देने से आप पूरा मतलब ही बदल सकते हैं. एक insinuating और एक accusatory tone of voice हो जाता है, और दूसरा एक just questioning, perplexed tone of voice ho jata. And finally, of course, there's volume, which we talked about. And I can get really excited about this topic and get loud today, or I can really get quiet and say, this is a topic which is so close to my heart.
Right.
So एक loud soft होने से भी इतनी there's so much of depth that comes into it. So by all of this, and then again I want to address that, because this sodcasting जिसको बोलते हैं ना, where you talk loudly in public places without really giving any kind of concern to other people around you. आप movie theaters में देख लें, आप
and what is that? That's trying to be the center of attention.
जी, I mean each their own, but शायद उनको awareness नहीं है या center of attention है. but आप aircrafts में भी मैंने कहीं दफ़ा देखा है, लोग इतनी ज़ोर से बात करेंगे, फ़ोन पे हो या एक दूसरे से हो. तो एक
रेस्टोरेंट्स में you're on the phone.
Yeah, empathy नहीं है एक दूसरे के लिए to respect each other's space. We'll take that caller.
Excellent, and that was very useful, and I certainly hope all my RJs are listening to this, because very, very useful information about how to actually conduct yourself on the air. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
आयशा जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. सॉरी फिर से कॉल कर रहा हूँ.
Not at all. No apology needed.
अभी I switched on again to the radio, and I just wanted to ask your expert there कि what would you say, जो बार ये खैर मेरी फैमिली में भी हो रहा है ये, कि what would you say जो बार बार कोई 3 दफा इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है, यानी एक दफा कुछ बोल देगा करो, फिर थोड़ी देर बाद वही चीज रिपीट होगी, तो फिर थर्ड टाइम भी कभी वो कर दें आप, तो आई गेट इरिटेटेड विद दैट. तो मैं कहता हूँ कि भाई you already told me that way. So what would you say about people like that, जो एक ही चीज को रिपीट करते हैं 3 दफा?
Sure. So जब पहली दफा जब आपको इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलती है, what is your response?
हाँ ठीक है, I'll do it, कर दूंगा.
और फिर वो eventually
फिर थोड़ी देर बाद थोड़ा टाइम गुजरेगा तो वही रिपीट होगा फिर on the person.
ठीक है.
तो फिर कभी जब थोड़ा सा और टाइम करे तो फिर वो एक रिपीट याद दिलाते हैं. So then I get irritated. मैं कहता हूँ, sorry, told me 3 times.
Okay, very common problem. Yeah, let's take a crack at answering that.
Yeah, very true. I mean, I think बहुत सारे families में मैंने ये सुना है, और I would say देखो, there is a backstory to this problem. The backstory to this problem may have been birthed when the person who's telling you to do whatever they're telling you to do, it has not been done repeatedly. When they told you once and it was not done, and they told you again and it was not done, and they told you the third time it was not done, then what happens is the person feels that there is a need to say again and again and remind, because they're afraid that it's not going to be done. So just as a breakthrough to break through the situation, try and do it when the person tells you that they need this to be done. Try and do it immediately, or give them a
timeline. Exactly.
कि मैं 2 घंटे में कर दूंगा, या मैं by the end of the day ये तेरा काम हो जाएगा. अगर आपने वो टाइम फ्रेम दे दिया और फिर वो टाइम फ्रेम में कर दिया, my strong opinion I think would be that the person will then slowly wean off having to think that they need to remind you again and again, because they know that you give a time frame, you stick to it, and you get the job done.
Very good point. And a lot of times we wives throw out instructions at our husbands कि अच्छा वो बल्ब गाड़ी में होंगे हम लोग और कहेंगे प्लीज़ वो बल्ब बदल देना, and how is the guy going to remember like going on this car ride, you know? And it's like, think about what you're saying and where you're saying it. So if you're home and you know it's right there and then oh, can you please change this light bulb? Okay, let's do it right now, or I'll do it in 15 minutes as soon as I'm done sending this email. I think that is more focused communication and can lead to better results rather than just a cycle of you know giving instructions or nagging or whatever it is.
Very true. और एक step अगर हम आगे भी जाए, and I want to give the gentleman who called, you know, the benefit of doubt, that say he already does that. He says that he's going to do it on a certain time frame and it still is not followed. Then I think, just like what you said, open communication is so important, to sit down and say, hey, I give you a time frame, I'm doing it within the time frame. If that is still not enough for you, then can we come to a middle ground where if it is so important that it's done there and then only, then please do it yourself.
Or find somebody to do it.
Yeah.
I think also some people tend to have a habit of repeating things over and over again, just without thinking about what they're saying. They don't have anything else to say, so वही बात वो दोहराते हैं.
जी.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, if you have an opinion about this or any other observations, Hussaini Saab, that was a terrific example. कोई और अगर example आपने observe की है in communication and talking, you can come on the air and share that with us. 972-501-9390. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
हाँ आयशा, मेरे पास the way I act इस सिचुएशन में अगर कभी ऐसा राइज हुआ है कि कई दफा बोले और काम नहीं हुआ है, तो मैं क्या करती हूँ, वो पर्सन के सामने खुद ऐसा कहने लगती हूँ कि साथ मिलके करते हैं, या फिर अपने से अगर जैसे बल्ब वगैरह चेंज करना हो और कितना भी वो जरा मुश्किल कुशा हो, मगर फिर भी मैं जाके कोशिश करती हूँ करने की, तो वो दूसरा पर्सन देखता है कि हाँ काफी डिफिकल्ट है फॉर वन पर्सन टू डू इट, व्हाई नॉट डू इट टुगेदर. So I found that repetition at times in a very controlled manner, in a very polite manner does work. And if it is not working, then in presence of that person start saying, okay, what I'll do is I'll try to do it myself. That person, if he's a concerned person and is of a family or a friend, will definitely pull in and realize that they need to get it done, either together or individually.
Perfect.
No?
Very
or
good.
I say, let's hire someone or let's call someone to get it done. मगर the tone of voice and जिस तरह का body language होता है वो बहुत important होता है. You know how you convey the message.
बिल्कुल.
But repetition has helped in my case. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And that was so nicely done. You know, I want to go back to the points that you were making because they were really, really excellent, and I think we can all learn so much from that. For example, the callers who call into the show, like, there's several of them, when they, just from their hello, there's so much energy. You hear the smile in their face, you hear that vibration in their voices, and the person at the other end is like so excited to receive their calls, right? But on the other hand, if you are like down or just have sort of an angry tone in your voice or just very energyless, it sets the tone for the other person. So we get into this reactive mode then. We react a lot to how the other person is talking.
Yeah. And then obviously you need to make a conscious effort to, if it's not a very healthy tone of voice, to break through and give your own, which the other person can catch on to. But yes, exactly what you said, it catches on to you and you kind of feel,
And we don't realize it when we are talking to somebody, how we are projecting our voices at all. And how we're projecting that energy.
और वही मैं बात कर रही थी ना, ये टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड, ये जो टूल बॉक्स है ना, आप उनकी वैल्यू हम नहीं समझते बिकॉज इसके साथ इतना सारा कुछ हो सकता है, एंड दैट कैन गो सच अ लॉन्ग वे इन मेकिंग यू टॉक सो इफेक्टिवली.